I'm Bruce Apar, and you're watching Frank Talks with Bruce the Blog. Come on in. Hello again, and welcome to Frank Talks with Bruce the Blog, brought to you by the Penny Saver and our parent company, Chase Media Group. And we thank Carla Chase, our CEO, and Frank J. Rich, our Chief Strategy Officer, who sometimes is with me. Today he could not be with us because he has a lot of responsibilities at the company, at the office. And we'd like to remind you that each week, Frank Talks with Bruce the Blog is a community affairs show that you can see on this channel or on YouTube if you go to YouTube and search for Town Link, or also you could search alternately for NCN Local, and you'll see all the shows come up, and you can watch any of them at your leisure. And we try to focus on what's really good about our communities, people who are doing positive things, role models, volunteerism, and just what's right with the world, as Frank likes to put it. And for this show, we have two very special guests who I know very well and do a tremendous amount for the community, so they really are role models for the whole mission of Frank Talks with Bruce the Blog. And so let me welcome Jane McCarthy. Jane is both Yorktowners. Jane is co-chair of the Yorktown Relay for Life, and with her is Monica Garrigan, who is the senior director of Relay for Life at the American Cancer Society. And so in your case, Monica, you're in charge of a lot of Relays for Life, right? Not just Yorktown. Right?
Yeah, I manage all of the events here in Westchester, the people that work with those events, but I'm responsible for the Yorktown event.
Right, and as I said, you both reside in Yorktown, and so, I mean, all the Relays for Life are very important, and they do very well. Of course, you know about the Yorktown one and are responsible for putting it on every year, and it's been a tremendous success that I know has become very well known throughout the American Cancer Society as one of the sort of showpieces of Relay for Life. So why don't we start off talking about how many years has the Yorktown Relay been on?
This June will be our 8th year that we've been doing the event here in Yorktown. We started in 2006, and each year it has just grown tremendously. Right. I think the first year we started with 21 teams, and last year we had 109. So it really,
So that's huge.
Yeah.
And how much money did you raise last year? What's your goal for this year, so people understand the scope of it?
Last year we raised $228,000. And this year, Jane, you want to tell them what we're going for?
We want to raise $300,000.
Wow.
2 years ago, we got to $298,000. So we know we can do it.
Yeah.
We had 135 teams. We branched out our relay to other towns. And so we had Somers get involved. We had Katona Lewis get involved. And so with our help from Yorktown, we've been able to move the relay message over to other towns within the Westchester area.
Right.
But we're going for the 300,000 this year.
That's tremendous.
Because why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's almost like a sort of a mini regional event, not just one town. Right?
Yes. Well, Monica is up to 17 events that she's managing. She didn't really say that, but she manages 17 relay events in Westchester.
And they all happen within, several weeks or a couple of months of each other? Or
yeah, we have a limited time span that we can do it because it's an outdoor overnight event. So we do keep that in mind. So we don't plan them for December or 0-degree weather. But so we do them all starting in April.
Right.
We start in the colleges, and they hold them actually in the gyms. So that's okay, to have it inside. And then in May, we have some outdoor events that actually take place, and then the bulk of them take place in June.
In June, right? Yeah. And this is a good opportunity to explain the whole format of Relay, because there's a lot of, as we all know, there's a lot of fundraising that goes on all year round in all the communities around here, and people are great, as I don't have to tell you, people are great in coming out and supporting all types of different charities and causes and medical research or whatever the case may be. But I know from the very first relay in Yorktown, I was struck by the uniqueness of it and the fact that people respond so passionately to participating. And so let's just tell everybody about the format.
I think why it's so passionate is that everybody has known someone with cancer.
Right.
So it drives home when you tell your story and you get a community together to actually give a passionate response where you can actually see a difference with the results from the research that's done through the American Cancer Society and through the honoring of Gordy Klatt, who started this in 1985 in Tacoma, Washington.
Right.
We used to relay because he started it, we're now relaying for him. He was recently diagnosed with cancer.
Right.
He is doing okay, but he started this just in one little town, and it's now in 5,200 communities across the country and the world. It is what we like to coin in Yorktown purple power.
Right.
It's taking passion and bringing it to the next level, from the babies to the seniors, getting involved from the chain of hope in the schools where children can write messages on links, and they bring that chain then to relay, and they do a lap to the seniors getting involved, asking them. They help us with the survivors. They get involved with writing letters. The senior citizens. And then we have the school children from every age group, from cheerleaders to all the kids that sign up for teams and get involved and come up with a great theme and spend time figuring out how to raise money so that they can help fight this battle.
Right.
And maybe you want to go into some of the Cancer Society.
And I was going to say, no, I want to hear that. I just wanted to add to what you're saying, Jane, is that another of the great qualities or elements of Relay for Life, even relative to other types of fundraising, is it's a very strong brand. I mean, that's and let's face it, it's not crass or anything to say charities are marketed. You have to market it to raise the money to help cure, horrible diseases like cancer. And you mentioned purple. Of course, you and Monica are wearing purple. we realized I'm wearing purple.
That was no accident.
Right, there was a greater power at work here.
Yes.
And then, of course, we have the sippers that are purple, right? These great sippers that I was gifted with before the show. Thank you for that.
And people now drop things off at Monica and my houses. Like I go to my mailbox. I found this in my mail. Actually, this was made from a friend from another relay because she knows I love purple. This was a fundraiser that someone did last year. You had this
Loretta
made.
Lagonia dropped this on my front porch so that I have something warm and purple to wear for the parade next year.
Wow.
So people, they now know. When they hear purple, they think
they associate
Jane,
it with
and Donna. Yes, they do.
Which is great, yeah. Okay.
But I think one of the other things too that makes it unique and makes it special is, as Jane mentioned, 5,200 events across the country, but it is truly a global movement to end cancer.
Right.
And it's in 21 other countries beyond the United States, so it really has taken off and become a global effort.
Yes.
And there's a connection. We celebrate survivorship at Relay, and there is this incredible message of hope that comes at this event. And it's so powerful when someone who's newly diagnosed comes to this event and they see the sea of survivors wearing their purple shirts. They connect and they realize, one, they're not alone, and two, look at all these people that have beaten this disease. I can do this too. And it's an incredible message of hope, and it's so important. And the other thing too is it's the community coming together. And Jane mentioned that we sprung off into Somers and into Katona-Lewisboro, and there's a big event up here in Mayapack, and some people say, well, aren't you spreading yourself too thin? But it really is. It becomes a meeting place and an annual thing where some people come together and they know they're going to see their friend or their neighbor at this event, and it really is about the community coming together. Together, and Yorktown does it in such a special way, and has always done that since the first event in 2006. And And the overnight factor too makes it kind of a special
Well,
event.
that's what's great is
Well,
that
people think that they think relay means running. First of all, relay is not running.
Right.
Relay, why we do it is because cancer never sleeps.
Right.
And so we are honoring the cancer victims.
Right.
Because for any of us that are healthy, if we can walk around that track from 7 a.m.,
Right.
from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., that's a little effort we can do compared to what cancer survivors have to go through.
I couldn't agree more with you, Jane. Yeah,
So
right.
we've been able to encourage our teams to come to fundraise. We made $50,000 the night of relay last year.
Wow.
We
The on-site
fundraised.
fundraisers, yeah.
We came in number 5 in the region, in the state of
Right,
New York,
right.
in terms of how we did, raising $228,000 last year.
Right.
We are one of the biggest fundraising engines for the night of relay. We know
You're
how
saying
to
Yorktown
throw,
is?
Yes, we know how to throw a carnival.
Yeah, right.
We know how to throw a party.
Yeah, yes,
and
that's
when
right.
they told us to dream big, hope big, and relay big for 2013, we knew we could do it because
Right.
we'd done it in 2011, and we plan on even beating it in
Right,
2013.
yeah.
Because last year we had 3 storms. We had almost
Right,
a tornado. And
It
Monica
felt like
was
a
on the
tornado.
phone with her boss
Right.
at the American Cancer Society saying, Susan, I don't know how we're going to get through this. And Susan said, who is not a New Yorktown resident, there's no place like Yorktown.
I
Wow.
think
Which
I
at
texted
that-
NEM.
At that moment, Monica and I looked at each other and said, there's our theme for 2013. And that is our theme. There's
Right,
no
no
place
place.
like Yorktown.
Yeah.
We plan on having a Wizard of Oz theme, over the rainbow. We want people to really think there's no place like Yorktown and get the message that this community cares about fighting cancer
Right.
and making a difference.
And do you know, by the way, this is some form of serendipity that we are in the Cablevision Peekskill studios, right? Frank Baum, who authored Wizard of Oz, was a resident of Peekskill.
right.
Oh yeah, so they're going to be commemorating that. Yeah, so it all ties together.
See, that's
and isn't
great.
these are sort of a shade of purple.
Yeah, a little bit.
Right. And Monica, you were talking about before we went on the air, the kind of research that the American Cancer Society does, which is actually historic research, as you said, going back to the late 50s, which led to what is now on every pack of cigarettes for the last half century about the warning, that it may cause cancer. And you said there's new research now coming out.
Yeah, and we talk about the dollars raised at this event, and it's so much more than the dollars raised. It's really about the lives saved with those dollars. And one of the things that the American Cancer Society does with the money that's raised at Relay and all of our other events is research.
Right.
And normally the American Cancer Society does not manage that research. We fund researchers, newly developing researchers that
Right.
might not get funding from some
Right.
of the national funding, and they're cutting edge, and we've been doing research since 1946. And since then, we have funded 46 Nobel Prize winners
Wow.
for their research. So the American Cancer Society is actually the second largest funder of cancer research next to the US government. And one of the projects that we're investing in now is called CPS-3. And it's the Cancer Prevention Study 3. There was CPS-1, which you just
Right.
alluded to,
That
in the
cigarettes cause
1950s.
cancer. Yeah.
And what it is, it's a study of lifestyle and then cancer diagnosis. So people are tracked for years.
Right.
And their lifestyle choices, and then their development of cancer down the road. So that connection was made between cigarette smoking and the development of cancer.
Right.
And then in the late 70s, early 80s, CPS-2 came out, and that came with the connection between cancer diagnosis and nutrition and those types of lifestyle, physical activity and those types of lifestyle choices. So we're in the midst of CPS-3. It is the one cancer research project that is funded and managed by the American Cancer Society.
Okay, right.
And we're looking for 300,000 volunteers to be a part of this. It's massive.
Right.
What it entails is registering for an enrollment site and showing up at that site, donating some blood and a waist measurement. And it's all kept secret. I know some people are like, no, but it's all confidential information, and then you're asked to fill out a survey.
Right.
Every 2 years, I believe it is, for the next 20 years. So it's a commitment, but it's information that really is necessary.
Directly impacting.
Yeah, I mean, it's
how we
research
view
and finding a cure. And, yeah, exactly.
So, and when we're looking for people between the ages of 30 and 65, we have locations all over Westchester County in March. Lawrence Hospital, Hudson Valley Hospital right here.
Right.
Northern Westchester Hospital, so the areas up in this White Plains, Phelps, St. John's. And so it's easy to do, and it really is an opportunity for an individual to make a personal difference
right, yeah, yes,
in the future of cancer and the future of what we know about this disease.
And how would somebody enroll? What, they have to go somewhere, you were saying, in March?
Yeah, and we do have a website, and I can give that to you. I don't know if we have it to come up on the screen.
Yeah, okay.
Do you want me to just say it?
Yeah, mention it, yes.
So it's www.cancer.org/CPS3.
Okay.
And then you'll just say what area you want to get involved in, and it's just a tremendous opportunity to make a difference.
Yeah. And as a volunteer, I get asked a lot, where does our money go? What do we do?
Right, yes,
you know,
right,
and
people want to know.
Some of the things that I'm able to say is that I went to Hope Lodge, which is down in Manhattan.
Right.
And Hope Lodge in 2012 was able to accommodate 38,000 people across the globe with the Hope Lodges nationally. They saved $22 million in lodging costs from all the money that has been donated for Relay for Life. We also have a program. I think.
But that's great that you.
We have a
program. How hard you work for this organization.
Look good, feel better.
Right.
And one of our Yorktown salons, Loresse, is involved with Northern Westchester Hospital.
Right.
And when you get diagnosed, you can go and you feel overwhelmed.
Right.
And when people lose their hair and they have this, they can go in and they can feel better about themselves, and they can learn how to adapt as they're going through the chemo treatment. And these are things that we directly impact with our funds in Yorktown for drives, car service, for people to get rides to their chemo treatment.
Right.
We directly impact that with the money we make.
Oh, so and that's a very, very important point that you're making, Jane, right, is that if people wonder, does the money go somewhere else? Is it exported to some other? You're saying it
directly
it benefits the people in the community who donated the money to begin with.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Yeah. And there are so many, like we were saying, there's so many moving moments at a Relay for Life. There's entertainment by young people because it is a celebration of life. And one of the things I know, when I'm there every year is, like you were saying before, in a lot of those moments, you look around and you see a lot of moist eyes, and it's what you're saying. It's because people also realize, we're helping each other. This event is helping me. It's just, it's a great testament to humanity, actually, right?
It is, and you could describe the evening as a little bit of an emotional roller coaster because we're celebrating the survivors, and that is an amazingly wonderful thing, and it's a happy, happy time. And there are 14 million survivors living in this world today, and that's just something to be happy about and celebrate.
And what's that you say about a birthday that
we're creating more birthdays.
We're creating more birthdays, which is a great way of putting it. Yeah.
A world with less cancer and more birthdays.
Birthdays, right? Yeah. And I also wanted to have you mention the Luminaria.
Well, and that's part of that roller coaster because we have that local entertainment,
okay,
so which is so much fun. But then we have our Luminaria ceremony where we really take the time to remember and reflect on those that we've lost to this disease, and it's. For many people, it's a big step in their grieving process.
Yes.
And that's when you see those eyes. And I've had people say, "Oh, I couldn't possibly go to that. I'll be crying." And if you're not, you're probably alone.
Right.
And what's nice about this is you can decorate it yourself. We have Girl Scouts that decorate it. We're going to try for 2013 to get 2013 Luminaria. Some other towns have done it, and one of our goals is to have 2013 Luminaria. 2013 Luminaria filled out.
But
this is going to be our goal this year.
And so people understand the candle goes inside the bag, and then it lines, in Yorktown, it happens to be held at the Jack DeVito Field where there's a track, and it lines the track.
And what we did starting 3 years ago is we found out that tuna fish is not subsidized by the government. and we worked with the food pantries. And what we've done is we've gotten donations of tuna, about 1,000 cans each year. And what we do is we wrap them in foil. Loresse donates the foil to us, and we put little candles on top of it. And that way we're not dealing with sand.
Right.
And so what's nice about that is Yorktown Relay is now giving back on top of it. So we're paying it forward.
Yes.
So people are giving to us, and now we're paying forward by being able to donate tuna, which is something that is not accessible to homeless people.
Right.
Or people in need.
And you know, one of the things that all of us are intimately involved with, a very, very close friend of ours, Randy Zapikin, who passed away this past year, not from cancer. It was a very tragic accident. And Randy was, in many ways, the face of Yorktown Relay for Life, as you know, as the master of ceremonies and so many other things he did. And is there going to be something at this event that recognizes him in some way? Or?
We could not have this relay without recognizing Randy. I mean, he was a very big part of our committee, and we have a committee of over 30 people who all have that level of commitment that Randy had, and we are all making it our business to make sure that Randy is honored and a part of Relay with us this year. So yes,
and as we all know too, it's just that Randy, you know, apart from just being a big high-profile volunteer, you might say, at Relay, I mean, we all know his personality was just larger than life. And so, you know, to me, being a close friend of his, that in itself is going to carry forward, you know, his legacy, and it's always going to be there. There's no question about it. So,
and it's really also goes to the whole part of there's no place like Yorktown.
Yeah, that's right.
And somewhere over the rainbow, because we all know in this room, and everybody in Yorktown knows, that Randy is somewhere over the rainbow looking out for us, and we'll be there that night with us.
That's
right. Yeah. No, that's absolutely that's absolutely the case. And we also should mention, in this day of social media and technology, I didn't realize this till just before the show, and I have to download it on my iPhone. There's an app. There's a Relay for Life app right now that you can download. I would assume, I don't know if it's also for Android. Or, I mean, I saw
it is. It's for all of the smartphones.
Okay, so if you have an Android or an iPhone, you can just search on the app store, the App Store. That's what it's called. They're still called stores. That hasn't changed yet for Relay for Life. Right?
And we also have a Facebook page.
Okay, I mentioned the Facebook page.
And a Twitter account.
And a Twitter, and it's at RFL of Yorktown is the Twitter. And our Facebook page is Yorktown, Relay for Life of Yorktown.
Right.
It's a new page we started this year. We'd like to be able to use that to promote it, but really the most important thing is we need teams. And we need teams to go to our site, the Relay site, because that is where it's never too soon to start fighting cancer. And we need to get our teams on board so that we can raise the money so that we can continue to make a difference. So if you're thinking of signing up, this is a great day to do it.
And people, you know, again, that's yet another great characteristic of Relay for Life is the teams, the names of the teams, the themes of the teams, and how, what I was going to mention before is there are so many entry points for this fundraising event where the kids can get involved, schools get involved, civic organizations, right? You know, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, like you said, Jane, senior citizens. And so it really is a very powerful magnet for pulling people together, bringing people together. And again, because it's a celebration of life, when you go there, you know, when you walk around, especially at the beginning Friday night, and you see the kids, they're playing Frisbee, they're doing all kinds of dunking, you know. You know, that's another great quality of Relay for Life.
And it's great because, as you said, it's for everybody.
Right.
There's something for everybody, and there are so many levels of involvement.
Right.
You can be on the committee and help us plan this amazing event.
Right.
You can be a team captain and reach out to your family and friends to be on your team and come up with your theme and your fun fundraising idea for the night and do some fundraising throughout the year. You can be on a team and just a participant on a team. And you can come that night and just participate in the carnival atmosphere
Right.
and contribute in that way also. So there's so many ways to be involved. You can purchase a luminaria, you can make a donation.
Right.
It's for everyone, and there's just a way to get involved.
And of course, one of the great successes, team successes of the last couple of years in Yorktown has been the Yorktown Dancing with the Yorktown Stars, which overnight became like a huge thing, right?
Yes.
Great
You
event.
couldn't like get everybody in the door, it was so popular. And this year you're doing something a little different along the same lines.
Yeah, well, it's actually the team that does that event is called the Bunko Babes.
Right, Bunko
and they were
Babes.
our top fundraising team
Right.
last year because of this phenomenal event they do. And they're looking into changing it up a little bit this year. I don't know if I'm letting out a big secret, but we want everyone to know that more along the lines of the TV show The Voice, the singing contest kind of a thing. So the details are yet to come out, but if you can sing, let us know.
Right, if you have a voice, right.
If you have a voice, and it's for 21 and over. There may be other,
we're
they
looking
do other. We do have other fundraisers throughout the year where high school students do put on band concerts, and we have. We may be doing a skateboarding clinic this year. There's some interesting
Solaris
things.
is having a comedy night in April,
Right.
And there's the house tour on May 5th.
Yeah, the historic house tour.
The houses are all lined up. It's going to be a fabulous day.
Starting
it's really
in
going to be a
Hanover.
fabulous day. Hanover Hilltop will be the main location. And yeah, it's going to be a good day.
And so that's yet another way that Relay, it goes way beyond being just a fundraiser and frankly being only about cancer. In this case it ties into the whole culture of the town.
Absolutely.
Right?
And it's also all year.
Terrific.
It's
And
12.
it's year-round,
it's
right?
it's really year round.
Well, you have to plan it year round, right, Jane?
Yes,
I mean,
we do. We pretty much do 9 months. I would say we probably
like
take
September?
June to September. We still talk and we still are involved, but I'd say September to June we're pretty.
That's all you're doing is
Well, our event is scheduled for June 14th this year, and I'll be at the rec department on June 16th, figuring out what we're doing for the next year.
For next year,
I mean, it just kind of.
And that's a little bit later, right? It
17th,
used to be a little earlier in June, I'm saying.
And in May we do Paint the Town Purple, which is where we bring everybody. We have the streets lined. It's a real awareness day, getting ready for people who may not know about Relay, because there actually are some people still that don't know about Relay for Life.
Right.
So it's a great place for us to get out, get our message out in the street, and get the town excited for what will be coming on June 14th. And this year, that's on Friday, May 3rd is our.
And it
May
seems
3rd
early.
Paint the Town Purple, yeah.
And it seems earlier this year, but we're always the second Friday in June. And this year, that second Friday is just pushed a little further.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah.
Because June starts on a Saturday. So.
Well, hopefully it'll be a little warmer.
That's true.
A few degrees maybe.
Hopefully it won't be rainy.
Right.
It will not. It will not. Yeah.
It won't.
So any final thoughts? Because we do have to wrap it up. I mean, other than to encourage people to, like you said,
start
sign up
a team,
for
join
teams.
a team, send your emails, tell your story.
Right.
Tell your story. Remember Purple Power. Remember to get out there and know that you make a difference.
Yep.
And the kickoff.
Right.
Our kickoff is scheduled for February 5th at the Yorktown Elks. So
they have graciously donated everything that is there as a sponsorship. They are donating.
Yeah, the kickoffs are always nice events too. They're really good events to get people going.
It's just a great way to start the Relay season, as we call it, and it's for people who want to come learn more about Relay for Life.
Right.
And for those that have been involved in the past to kind of start up for the year, and it's a fun night with lots of information, and
we say free food,
Yeah,
laughter, tears, meet new people, get inspired,
and we should mention
say
too,
there's no place like Yorktown a lot.
Right, and wherever you live watching the show, check out, there could be a relay in your town or next to your town or near your town. You know.
And you can go to www.relayforlife.org.
Right.
And just put in your zip code and it will come
It'll
up.
come up.
And you could start a relay in your town if there's not one.
Right, yeah, that's right.
Just,
even better. Anyhow, we want to thank Monica Garrigan, Senior Director for Relay for Life at American Cancer Society, and Jane McCarthy, Co-Chair of the Yorktown Relay for Life, for being with us. And just go to the website and you can get all the information that you need to get involved in Relay. And thanks for watching. And remember, when Bruce the Blog listens, people talk.